Hello friends, very good morning to all of you. So today we are going to discuss PF67, that is how to integrate Angular based app with PingFederate using standard OIDC. And in this session we'll talk about auth code flow. So again, you have a good understanding of auth code. We'll just try to understand that how we can implement PingFederate endpoints in our Angular app, which file we need to make a change, how we can go for authorization call, exchange of code for a token call, and then like once we how we can get an access token and then call the API like user info API to get the user profile. So we'll try to understand those all things. So let's begin. Let's talk about the Angular app. So we just discussed in our previous section about React app using PKC. So in this Angular, we just try to go through it's like a auth code flow only because it's not a single page application. It's a server side application, so there is no risk in using auth code flow. So just go through this, like again this is also a tested code and validated in real time application. But yeah, just we'll go through this and just try to understand, and you can share this with Angular developer if you are implementing any Angular based app with Ping or any other product using this OIDC standard and using auth code flow. So you can utilize this code and yeah, just documentation. It will really help. It will really help you to yeah go through understand like which file, what configuration I need to update at the code level, so that I can implement that auth code flow in my app, in my Angular app. Okay. So again, we'll trying to use some library, but before that, we have some prerequisites. So let's go through this. So your PingFed instance must be configured as an OAuth 2 authorization server, and you should have the following like client ID, secret, redirect URI scope, and yeah, these all prerequisites we already know, and we can just do this in PingFederate side or maybe any other product side. Then you can just install the Angular OAuth OIDC client library. This library helps with the handling the OAuth 2 and OIDC flow easily. So this is a very popular library like Angular auth OIDC client. So you can use this and then it can handle that auth 2 and OIDC flow easily. Okay, so step one, like configure the OIDC client in Angular. So first you'll need to configure the Angular auth OIDC client library to handle the authorization code flow. So in your app.module.ts, import and configure the OIDC client like this as shown here. Okay, so this is step one we are doing. Okay, so this is the providers and expo app model is a class. Then you're defining the like this STS service, nothing but a PingFed authorization server URL we need to give here. Just for example, I have given like this. Redirect URL, then client ID, secret scope like this. Yeah, is the basic fundamentals, the information I'm just putting. Refresh token I'm putting as a false, but yeah, that part I'm not discussing in this code. Like I haven't discussed in React also. But if you are trying to utilize the refresh token, it's again like a simple thing only. Like you just need to yeah go for a new call based on the expiry of your access token. Like you, if you want to extend the session of your user in the app, you can just yeah extend the like you can just use the refresh token grant to renew your access token before it expires like that. It's a silent renewal, we are saying that name. Okay, so that is another thing, but yeah, I'll leave that part for now. So just yeah you're just constructing here like this information in the OIDC config service with auth config with config. So okay, this address we have given, then these are the thing details like URL, client ID, client secret, response type, user refresh token. This is step one. Step two, add the authorization and callback routes. So to handle the redirect from PingFederate after the user has authenticated, you need to create a route that captures the authorization code, right? And add the following route to your app routing.module.ts. Okay, so first like you created which file, that app.module.ts to configure OIDC client. Then we are going for app routing.module.ts. Okay, so step two, we are trying to create this new file because we need to add the following route to your this file app routing. So here that path we have given to handle callback, add other routes here as needed, right? Then the callback route will handle the redirect from PingFederate after the user has authenticated. This callback is basically like yeah to handle the temporary code that Ping is going to send you. Step 3 is like initialize the OIDC client. So in your app.component.ts, inject the OIDC security service and callback check auth to trigger the authentication flow if the user is not authenticated. So this check auth will nothing, it will just check that whether user has authenticated or have any session or not. If not, then it will redirect or triggering the authentication flow to PingFederate or any other product. Right. So in step 3, we are initializing the OIDC client. So import this like from Angular auth OIDC client from Angular code, then like export class, constructor, then we have this like checking the check auth. We're just trying to verify if it is authenticated or not. If not, then redirect to PingFederate login, that this.oidc security service dot authorize. Okay. Okay, redirects the PingFederate login, and then we have the logout. So in this code, basically we just check one thing to just check for the check auth. This checks if the user is authenticated, and authorize here. If the user is not authenticated, it will redirect them to PingFederate for authentication. Okay, this is the one, and this is for the logout. Okay. So in this case, you see, like we are not like building everything, right? What we did in the React. So again, it's depend on library to library, right? What library we have used there, what library we are using here. So it again like changes in terms of the like the coding part, right? What we are coding in the app side. So, but the flow will be same. Like if we are going to implement PKC here in Angular also, the flow will just be a same, like the authorization call, handling the callback, going for the get a token, call the API like that. Okay, step 4, like handle the callback and exchange authorization code. So when PingFederate redirects a user back to your application after authentication, it will include the authorization code and a state parameter in the URL. The Angular OAuth OIDC client library, this library whatever we use here, will automatically handle this callback, extract the code, exchange it for an access token or ID token, you can say. If you want to customize how the callback is handled, you can configure in the callback route /callback. So if you want to customize this, like what your library is automatically doing, you can do that. But instead of customizing, this library is automatically handling all those things, like exchanging the code, getting an access token, all those things. Since the Angular OAuth OIDC client library automatically process the callback, no additional code is necessary in the callback route itself. We are talking about this, right? Where is the app routing model TS file? Yeah, only this file, like step 2 file I'm just talking. Okay. Okay, so then we have like okay, no additional code is required because it's already defined in the callback router route itself. However, to make sure that the authorization code is exchanged properly, ensure that you are using the correct client secret in the configuration info as PingFederate will need during the token exchange process. That is true. Step 5 is like protect routes and make authenticated API calls. After authentication, you can use the access token to make API calls. The library provides a get access token method. This library again providing you some method which you can use to retrieve the access token and add it to your HTTP request. We are talking about the API call. Here is an example how to make authenticated API call. So first we imported this, then like we have the component export class constructor, then we have this load user profile. Then yeah, you can see that this .oidc security service .get access token. So we are trying to use this method, passing the headers like the bearer access token, and just trying to hit that API, right? That is our API is this one, http API example.com user profile, and then we are just console.log response. We are just getting the response. So this get access token is basically retrieves the access token from this library. The authorization header is set with the token, and authenticated request is made to HTTP. That the API we are trying to call. Handle token expiry. To handle that, since the refresh token function is disabled, you will need to handle the case where the access token expires. The library will automatically attempt to re-authenticate the user if the access token is expired and redirecting them back to PingFederate. Again, it is also done by automatically. If you need to manually check the token expiration on initiate re-authentication, you can use the following methods from the OIDC security service. That get is access token expired. It will return true or false to check if the token has expired, and authorize if token is expired. This can be triggered to re-authentication. So again, you can use these methods to just manually handle the token expiry and then triggering the re-authentication, or it can be handled automatically also, as this library is already doing that. So again, in this case, you see you're not writing much thing. You're just like first in the, if I can go like, let's summarize this. So redirect the user to PingFed for authentication, use the client secret to exchange, make authenticated API calls. This integration is secure and simple, like thanks to the Angular OAuth OIDC client library, this which handles much of the complexity behind OAuth 2 and OIDC. So in this case, you are not supposed to go for the state and all, because this library again just handling the CSRF protection also. So in this case, what you are doing, like basically from Angular side, if I can say, because from PingFed side, you know, right, you just need to go for the simple auth code flow configuration. But from the Angular side, you're just defining like in the app.module TS, you're just configuring the OIDC client. That means you're defining all the PingFed endpoints, and then all the important information, client ID, secret, scope, all those things, response type, refresh token, and all part. And then yeah, add the authorization and callback routes. So we are just defining that route in the app routing module TS, which will handle the authorization code for the token call to get a token, right? So and then we are initializing the OIDC client to, by just using this call check auth method, right? Whether the user has authenticated or not. If not, then we are just sending user back to PingFed for authentication, for basically just like the authorization call, you can say. And then we have something for logout, and then we have the get access token method to just retrieve the access token and then just go for the API call. Yeah, so all those things. So yeah, here you are not doing much, as we have seen in a React case. In React case, we are writing other things also, because maybe again it depends on library to library. But the flow will be same call as are happening in this case also. But here your library is capable to do much things. Here you are not defining anywhere a state thing, right? Here we are not supposed to define the code verifier and code challenge because we are not going for PKC. Rather, here we are implementing the basic auth code flow, right? Okay, so this is a thing, and then we have some method we can use to just check for the token lifetime or expiry, and based on that we can just manage the session, use the session and the application also. And also we can just use this authorize method to redirect user for re-authentication. Okay, so just go through this, and just try to if you have any confusion, please put in the comment section. And this is just like a basic idea. Maybe it will not make you expert, but at least you will get some idea, and you can share this with the Angular developer. It's really helpful for them as compared to us. But from our side, from IM side also, I'll say just try to understand this Angular, React, Java, the popular technology based applications. So it will really help us also, to build something from our side, or maybe to get more understanding, so that it can help in troubleshooting also. Let's say you have integrated some Angular app with using this auth code flow. Tomorrow what happened that there is some issue came, maybe with the user session, with some whatever, right? The problem came, the case opened with you, and you are investigating that problem. So one thing, you can check the PingFederate or Okta, whatever the product logs, to get some understanding. But maybe the problem is little more complicated, where you are not getting much information on your logs, on your ping side, on your IM logs. Then you will just try to understand the application behavior, application terminology, application terms, right? So if you have a good understanding of this technology, this program, right, you can able to understand, okay, it can be the issue here, and let's investigate in this way. So we'll get the answer easily, and maybe in less time, as compared to give more time to investigate and get the problem. So that's why, let's go through this all. And if you have any confusion or any problem, you can put in the comment section, we can discuss again. And let's jump to the next session, where we'll talk about the ASP.NET Core. It's a kind of same thing, but maybe again new library will come, some new type of functions we can see there also. Okay, so let's go through there also. Thank you.